Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel. I am Edgardo, and this is my little brother.
Hi, I'm Juan.
And we are going to be discussing today Colombia and our trip, the 72-day trip, and our itinerary, why we went to Colombia for so long, and what were our plans. You know, did it go well? How many problems did we arise on the way?
Yeah, how many problems you have to face?
Yeah, lots of adversity, but lots of learning lessons and transformation too. So stick by. We'll tell you all the sauce.
Yeah. So our trip to Colombia, what inspired the trip, right? Edgardo and I are actually both Colombian. From our, you probably can't tell from our very nice English accents, but we were actually both born in Colombia. He was born in Valledupar. I was born in Barranquilla. And for me personally, I always wanted to reconnect more with my culture, reconnect more with my native native home, right? And I didn't really I think the thing that really inspired this trip for me and made me want to go on it starts off actually with my aunt visiting from Bogota, visiting from Colombia. She's my aunt who her name's Tianareda. God remembers this visit where she essentially stayed with us for a good time, and she was just there to see us. Like, she got her visa, did the whole fucking whoop-de-whoop you got to do to get your papers. Yeah, you can tell
she came here just for us because it was during the winter.
Yeah, it comes during the winter too.
It was cold in Calgary.
Suffering those winter weeks. And she had left something that resonated with me a lot. She left a really calm and peaceful icon of
she represented the family in a way by coming, and she gave the family good sort of feeling. It was very inviting.
It was very inviting. She was very inviting. Her presence was, again, very peaceful but also very loving, and it was a perspective of family I wasn't at that time very used to, I guess, relative to the family I have here in Canada. Peace and calm is not something that I would attribute to them. So having that, I was like, okay, well, I've always wanted to go to Colombia, but now I feel like the arm has really reached out, and it would be inappropriate for me to slap it or ignore it. So I'm gonna take this dive. And the thing, it wasn't really a dive. The first time I went to Colombia
so it's 16 years in. We haven't gone to Colombia once. And we've been living just in Calgary this whole time. We go to Colombia with my father, Juan and I, and we meet the family for the first time. First, we meet my grandma, which, by the way, if you want to watch any of this, I have the vlogs out. You can watch them. We meet my grandma, then we meet the family. It's this whole party. It's extravagant. It's beautiful. I've never felt this warmness before. And I'm not just talking about the weather.
Yeah, and I think the thing that resonated with me the most out of that trip was just how much I didn't know about Colombia, as much as you can read online, as much as you can study, through a computer here, I guess, it doesn't at all really give you a view into the perspective, the lifestyle, the things that I feel like to some extent I never got the chance to have, and I was in a way robbed of it. But so that had left me with this kind of need to I want to go back. I want to go back, but I want to go back on my own terms, not because of family, not because of obviously family is always important, and I'm always gonna make the intention to see them when I'm there, but not for those reasons, but instead for myself and to discover why I had this yearning, I guess, for Colombia. Yeah,
because it's this void, it's our origin. It's the country where, our ancestors lived. They never moved out until just recently, right? So we are 1 year, we're done the first trip at this point.
Yeah,
it's
a whole year goes by. Yeah, a whole year goes by. I remember we got back from our trip, our trip was in April, right? We got back April 15th of 2022, and a whole year goes by. We're in 2023, and it's it's coming up on...
It's the summer, we have this desire to go.
At that point in summer, Edgardo, I think, had his desire to go. But for me, it was dude, I spent December here in It was that winter actually. It was that winter where I decided that I wanted to spend the next winter in Colombia because it was just like, for one, the winter here always blows. It's always draining. It's always kind of depressing. Like, people have their ways of being fun and entertained during the winter. I would not put myself in that category. During the winter, I feel like I'm just waiting for the spring to come by again. So, yeah, so for me it was like, and I told my whole family, I was like, guys, like, we should all go. Like, that was really the plan. Like, I wanted my dad to be there in December. I was hoping for my mom to also be there, and like, all them to be able to join us. The
plan was for all of them to join us.
Yeah.
But that didn't end up happening.
Yeah.
The way we wanted, the way we planned. I actually ended up bringing the odd one out, which was Shireen.
Yeah.
You know, she doesn't know Spanish. She was really going out of her comfort zone visiting this first time. So one of the reasons I actually wanted to go was because I was convincing Shireen, like, I've been watching all these Colombia videos and I'm just like, man, I miss this country. I haven't even experienced this country fully yet. And I've only been there 2 weeks. I want a long trip, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's expensive in Canada, man. Inflation is a bitch.
Yeah.
And that summer I was trying to grind like the whole summer. And it didn't end up going as planned, but I'm just like, Colombia, I gotta give this one. I gotta do it. Like, I'm gonna save more money by being there. You know, I was having problems with the landlord. You know, we moved out from surprise, moved into the parents' crib. You know, and the plan was literally to move out, parents' crib 1 week, and to Colombia for like,
as long as we were gonna
as we were gonna be there, which was gonna be long.
Yeah, and the plan was to be there like as long as possible, and that's kind of what I had planned for. It just gives us the flexibility of like, if we did want to do something later in like January or December, we knew we were gonna spend mostly with the family, just because the month of December is a very like, well, Colombia's a Catholic country, so it's very, like, all people there are Catholic, and they obviously, like, Christmas is very important. And,
and very important.
And I think for our family too, so our family values, they really value like Christmas and the holiday spirit. So during December, like, Colombia changes. It changes a lot.
Oh man, it's so beautiful.
It's why it's so expensive traveling there during December too. Like, December's not the light what's it called, the slow season by any means.
Well, that's why we went in November instead.
Yeah, that's why we went in November instead. We got there the 15th of November. And a reason I had planned the 15th of November is because I believe the 18th of November was the day that Colombia was to play against Brazil in the World Cup qualifiers.
Oh.
Yeah, Edgardo remembers this.
We're going way back. We're covering the whole trip.
Yeah, we're going way back. We're going from the start. So let's actually take a few steps back first, because I want to explain how this trip came about. Obviously, because of that date, because of 18th of November, I had a date that I kind of, for me personally, that I needed to be there. Edgardo and Shane were more flexible. They could kind of, you know, we could do it a bit more later, because January is actually the coldest month, and I think the third coldest month is February, not November. So it doesn't really make them, like, it would have made more sense if we were trying to escape the winter to be gone for more of February, if anything, right? But no, we wanted to be gone for like, I wanted to be there as early as November 15th because of that game. And that's where the itinerary started. And what I wanted to do was I wanted to go to as much places as possible, especially like places I knew were important historically for Colombia. I wanted to include all those places in the itinerary, all the major cities, you know, all the major tourist destinations as well, because at the end of the day, like, even though we are going to our own country, we're still tourists. So
yeah, and we're doing the most touristy things. Like, we are trying to cover all the popular spots with a minimal budget and covering everything on camera. You know what I mean? Drone and everything.
Get everything
like
filmed.
That's my focus, because to be honest, I had no idea about the itinerary. Even in Colombia, we're like a week in Bogota, and like we're getting the places, you know, getting it all set up.
Yeah,
because
what's the next step? Where are we going?
We have a plan.
Yeah.
You know?
And so that's why I really wanted to go to Popayan. That's one of the places we couldn't go. Our family in Bogota did a really good job. We spent 1 week in Bogota, a week that I was supposed to be traveling to Barranquilla to go watch that game, which didn't happen, unfortunately, due to unfortunate circumstances. But we, so my brother and Shane, and actually me myself, because I didn't go to Barranquilla, we stay a whole week. It was supposed to be like 3 days, but it ends up being a whole week we stay in in Bogota.
Yeah, for the first week.
Yeah, and during that week, there was some things I wanted to do because I already like, was considering that we're gonna be there for like, 3 days maybe, something like that. That was originally part of the itinerary, so I thought, like Zipaquirá, like the salt mine, and that's the part of that I planned the itinerary. But fortunately for us, we have really good family over there. We have a cousin who is very, very how would you put it? I don't know. She's just
which
Angie. I'm talking about Angie. Okay.
Yeah, she's very giving. She's like at service, at your service. She loves traveling and she's so adventurous. So it was really like her honor. She had gone to the clay house before, and she went again. And the clay house was a marvel. You know what I mean? She brought us outside.
We did we
went
did a lot of things with her. She took us really on a
Via de Leyva.
Via de Leyva. We went to Cundinamarca and like I think Boyacá as well. That was
went to Boyacá Bridge.
Went to Boyacá. Went to the a lot of things we did with her actually, and
we were up since like 4:30 or something like that.
Early,
it was ridiculous.
It was a whole day of traveling all around that region, which I really do recommend. Like up until I did it with her, I was just thinking like, major tourist attractions like Zipaquirá, like we'll do that, and that was a nice day too. I forget where Zipaquirá is. Where
Zipaquirá is like up north from Bogota, isn't it?
Yeah, but the town was really nice as well. Or like I forget like.
It was a nice town. It was a very nice town.
It's Zipaquirá, yeah. It was a really...
The salt mine, of course, that's part of it, but...
It was nice, but honestly, it was exhausting. That day was really exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
In the sense that the salt mine is so large, you just walk and walk and walk, and you're still in the salt mine. I mean, it's fascinating, and it's fascinating how big it is and how big the monuments they make are. Like, it's honestly amazing, but also it's exhausting to like do for a whole day.
You're doing a whole hike pretty much.
Yeah, it's a whole hike. And I guess I wasn't expecting that at that point, so I guess maybe that's why I was a little bit caught off guard, but I was a little
I remember
I was a little like by the end of it I was like, dude, how do we get out of here?
Because we were trying to like we were getting our meals in, but we were still burning more at the end of the day than we were gaining because
Absolutely.
Like we got there from the bus, right?
Yeah.
We walked to the salt mine. We didn't take no bus there. We walked all the way there. It wasn't...
Yeah,
it was like maybe 30 minutes.
Beautiful town, by the way. I remember I have a video of the town square, and it's...
Man, I had a drone shot of the whole thing, and...
We'll get to that, yeah. But, yeah, so Zipaquirá, but then, again, our cousin was really the person that, like, really got to show us the areas around Bogota. And I think
quickly,
because all within a day, all the shopping happened within a day. I think something I regret not doing in this trip that I definitely look forward to is my next trip is getting to know more of Bogota, because Bogota it's one of the Latin capitals of the world. Like it's a huge city. There's no like sleeping nights where the whole city's asleep in Bogota. Like no, every night something's happening. Every place there's something to do. It's just an immense metropolitan, and it really, I didn't honor it by I didn't give it the honor of exploring it and really taking my time with it. I feel like it was kind of I used it as a pit stop, which I feel like I regret because there's a lot to...
It's just such a big city that like things were not always organized in the best way, so the traffic is just the worst part. You gotta plan around the traffic.
Yeah, you gotta plan your whole life around the traffic, because really, if you get caught in the rush hour, I remember at one point we ended up watching the game in Bogota. When we go to actually watch the game, we get just halted by this fucking traffic that we weren't even in a... Sorry, that wasn't the best way of wording it, because we hadn't even gotten a taxi. Getting a taxi was like impossible. Like you go to the taxis that are empty and you wave them by and you go...
It was also the time that we were trying to get the taxis.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the
it was
rush
like
hour.
It was after 6, do you think?
It was right before 6.
Yeah, before 6, right before sunset. Everybody's getting off their shift.
Everyone, like around 5:30. Oh, that's the thing. That's still the ground time. Like around 5:30, you're like there. You have no luck around that time. Like, I remember we were trying to wave down taxis. We'd wave them down, and then they go, "Where are you from?" or "Where are you going?" And you go, "I'm going to this part." They go, "Nah, I'm going south." That happened to us like 3-4 times.
Bro.
The whole time we're on 3 apps on 2 different accounts per app.
Bro, I'm like on 2 different accounts on my phone. One's doing his thing too. And like I'm just raising the bet, you know, I'm just raising
the offer, how
much I'm going to pay to get a taxi across the city.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, these guys don't want to do that. Like they don't, bro.
Yeah,
I'm going to pay like the premium price. I'm going to pay a Uber premium equivalent, you know? And I'm over there. I understand because I'm doing like an hour and a half taxi ride back.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because it's like so long, bro.
Because for one, it's the traffic, but also it's the fact that like Bogota's such a big city. Like it genuinely is a humongous city, and it's not like they have like humongous freeways. No, it's just like kind of ordinary roads, like 2 lanes, 3 lanes. There are some bigger roads, but like they're not like highway speeds either. So getting places really takes time. Like it does take time.
You know, it does take time, but this is the nice thing about like Bogota, at least, right? Mm-hmm. Is everything is a walking distance away. Like if you live somewhere, you're gonna walk, unless you're getting to work across the city. Like I'm sorry, but like if you just need things, everything is a walking distance away. Like the best things.
I think that's a constant thing we've had throughout our time in Colombia.
It was like that in Medellin too. It was like that in Cali, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like that in. Yeah, literally everywhere went. In Valledupar for me, it was like that, and it was like that in Pereira. It was like that literally in Villa. What's it called? The town we went to.
Smaller towns.
The smaller town, even the smaller towns.
The smaller towns
are walkable.
100%.
Yeah, but literally everywhere you go, everything's like everything you need. Like if you need to go to the corner store, if you need to go buy some milk, if you need to go buy some eggs, everything's like within a walking distance, which is. I mean, maybe that's like normal for a lot of you, but for us personally, we live in Calgary, and
yeah, bro.
And it's
depending
not
on
the
where you live. Depending on where you live, it's not the same. Like it's gonna be at least a 7-minute drive.
Yeah,
you know,
everything's a drive because everything's so spread out. So it's
and
like,
if you're in the winter, you're screwed. So you need to drive.
Mm-hmm.
Or you need to freaking jog or something,
no,
bro.
Absolutely.
You're not doing that.
Yeah.
There's people I see now with like their electric bikes, but hey. So where were we? We're talking about.
Yeah, I wanted to go to. So we spend that time in Bogota. We spend that time in exploring like Cundinamarca and like Villa de Leyva. What was the other one? There's my aunt's favorite town. I think you might remember it for that. We went all the way to there.
So.
Villa
de Leyva.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. I kept on saying it. But there's another one, Rakira or
Rakira. We went to Rakira.
That was beautiful as well. And then the itinerary was originally in the itinerary. What I originally planned for was I wanted to go to the Desierto de Tatacoa, and the original idea was to use that as a pit stop to go to Popayan, like go to the Desierto de Tatacoa, but like check that off the box. But the real intention was to go to Popayan because Popayan it was a very important city for the Spanish. A lot of their control of southern, or I guess western Colombia, was based in Popayan. Like even after Bogota became the place it became during its time in the Spanish Empire, Popayan was still a very significant place for the colonial Spanish Empire. So there's a lot of like old colonial buildings there, a lot of historic places there, and just in general, it's been a very historic place for Colombia. So
yeah,
I wanted to use that as a pit stop. Go to Neiva, and then go to El Desierto de Tatacoa, and then from there go to Popayan, go all the way west, kind of near the start of the Andes are in Colombia, and then go to Cali. That was my original idea. But obviously, when I talked to my family, because I wanted to check in with them, see. They obviously know more about Colombian safety than I do. They were like, no, Popayan right now is hot. It is not a good place to go. You do not want to go there. Please avoid going there.
That's a good thing to know, right?
Like, yeah, it's a good thing. And I don't know if it's changed since, but in this instance, like, I'm going to take their advice. I'm going to listen to them. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's why we didn't go to Popayan, but
instead we hit up after Bogota, like a week in Bogota. After that, we went to Villa Vieja.
Yeah, that's what it's called. I was looking for the name. Villa Vieja.
We went to Villa Vieja, and then we went to the Desierto Tatacoa, which was a marvel.
It was beautiful.
Of course, hit some bumps in the road, and I'm not just talking literally, I'm talking like, you know, dealing with people, make sure you get the best price, you know?
Yeah.
Like some people, sometimes they ask for too much, and you know it's too much if it's over 100,000 pesos.
Yeah, I know we had a driver who wanted to give us a tour. Yeah. And like he was just supposed to be a driver, but he kept on insisting like, oh, let me show you this, let me show you that, let me show you this. And at the end of the day, he spent like the whole day with us. Like he drove us all the way there. That was the nice
thing, is he was like private, like, but the professional part was like, he's just some guy, like,
just some
you're
dude.
paying to drive you there, bro. He's driving so fast in that car. It was lent to him, bro.
Yeah.
It wasn't even his car.
No, it wasn't even his car. He had, like, his buddy, like, lends him a car. He parks in the middle of the plaza. You walk up, go, like, how much is it to drive me there? They give you a price. You go yes, you go no. By the way, before you ever, like, how I figured that that's how you get to the desert is I went to the plaza myself, and I just, like, asked. I was like, how do you get to the plaza? Just like literally just ask a stranger. A lot, like most times doing that, and I'm not saying this is just Colombia, because I'm like a lot of places I better like this, but most times I did that, almost every time I did that, I got guidance from whoever I was talking to, pointed me in the right direction, gave me good advice. Like even
you just gotta ask. You just gotta ask.
Even when that happened, the guy's like, oh, they might try to upsell you, but like never pay more than this. And he gave me an amount. And you know what? That might be an amount he even agreed with the driver, but at least they have that, like, you know, that balance, I guess, right?
Yeah, man, because our driver, the one we paid to do all this, to, you know, give us the Desierto de Tatacoa tour, he talked to the horse people, you know, like the horse, what do you even call these guys? The freaking cowboys.
Yeah, like
you know?
The rancheros. I mean.
You know?
But they're in a desert. These guys are just there to, like, what are they growing? Like these I don't want to talk bad about it, but they were growing these like these goat that looked like sickly, and then they serve you it wasn't goat, no, it was lamb. No, it wasn't lamb. It was
like goat. Yeah.
It was goat. It was definitely goat. Yeah.
It was goat, but yeah, the goat. I never seen goat like that. You know, like
they look sickly, man. The thing is,
you see goat like that, like at least they're out, you know, and about.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
But they're in the desert, so it's not even like, oh, they're eating the nice grass here. No, they're probably like eating imported. I don't know, man. I honestly,
who knows what we eat over here, man? Like, you don't see how the chickens are treated. You know,
maybe we're eating bad.
The free range chickens, they got a box to, you know, walk around in. That's it.
But it was definitely not my favorite meal there. I will say that. Like, I would avoid, even when we got pizza we were in, what's it called? Like, I'm forgetting the town's name, Villa Vieja, and we got pizza, and it was like definitely the worst pizza I've had in Colombia. It was like not good pizza. But it's just like, I mean, that's what you're dealing with when you're in a small town. It's just different.
Bro, you're getting
right?
into specifics that I don't even think people...
Yeah.
Like, it's good, you know, if you're going to go to Villa Vieja, don't have pizza. Yeah. Okay, so after that... and what was the town we rolled up in Villa Vieja?
It was normal. We had our bookings done. We were up late.
What is that town called, though? The Villa Vieja town, like the one we rolled up?
The city. The one before we got there. Yeah, Neiva. That's Neiva.
Oh, Neiva. Yeah.
Yeah, Neiva.
Okay, so Neiva, then we went straight to Cali after that.
Yeah, after we went to the exploration of the Desierto de Tatacoa, we had like a fucking... This was terrible. This was like a 16-hour bus ride to Cali, right? And this is weird. This is a learning lesson, right? So the thing is, night buses in Colombia, this is all night buses, they will turn the temperature the fuck down. As in, the AC will be blasting. I think the temperature in that bus that night was at like 12 fucking degrees. Like, that shit was insane. Like,
at least it wasn't crowded, you know? Because I will say...
It wasn't crowded and it was comfy, and they had beds, a bed in the back, which is like a communal bed. I wouldn't even recommend it, but dude, I was dying, man. I had to have something. Dude, I woke up, there was like fucking the mosquitoes from... I thought it was because I was getting bed bugs, but it was just the mosquitoes from the desert. So I woke up and I'm all fucking itchy and I'm getting swollen because I'm reacting poorly to the mosquitoes. And I'm in this creepy bed and it's fucking like... It's like, what, 4 a.m, and it's just...
So it's like really, really cold, and all you feel is like itchy mosquito bites. I'm in shorts, you know? And like, I'm in my seat. I have my seat reserved, but the bus is mostly empty. And these vents are broken, bro.
Yeah.
Like, they're just...
You can't close them is what he's saying.
They're just drowning me in cold air.
Yeah. You know? And it makes sense when you consider that they think everyone's going to be sleeping, because then it makes, you know, you lower the temperature, people are comfier sleeping if it's cold. You know, especially when they're so used to such hot weather. Like, people in Colombia love their AC, especially people that have money for it. They love their AC, especially from like warm climates, right? Mm-hmm. So it was just extreme. But when we finally get to Cali, oh, what a relief, man. Cali, just entering the city, I thought it was a beautiful city as we entered it. I thought it was
like
lovely.
Cali. I actually like Cali a lot.
Yeah, and even in hindsight, Cali's a great city. Like, we did salsa lessons there. You gotta do the salsa lessons there. First night there, we signed up for a free walking tour just to like get to know a bit of the downtown area. And Cali's the downtown area, I think it's all pretty close together, in my opinion, at least. So you can walk to a lot of places. We did not stop walking when we were in Cali.
Arriving to Cali was incredible. We signed up for a tour right away.
Yeah, essentially we got to the city. We were exhausted. Like, I gotta acknowledge that we were very tired.
Yeah, we didn't really sleep that well that night.
Yeah, not at all. But when we got there, I think like Edgardo and Shireen were kind of divulged in their misery. They were like, no, we're so tired. I was like, but it's only like 2 p.m. What are we gonna do the rest of the day? And then they were like, yeah, like we should do something. And I was trying to like mind them. I was like, guys, it's just a walking tour. Like, we're just gonna go on like a little walk. We're gonna go to this little plaza in downtown Cali. We're gonna see some stuff, and that'll be it, guys. Like, it'll be like a small little thing, right? And it definitely wasn't that. I think it was anything but that. A walking tour.
It's what we needed, though.
It's what we needed.
We were looking forward to like more than just a walking tour. But we pulled up to the plaza. You know, we met a lot of new faces and all people our age, very young people.
Yeah, that was very comforting too, having that.
And we walked around. She gave us a nice tour. We ate. We went up to a building like I think it was like the second tallest.
Yeah, and we just went up to the plaza. Just kind of looked out of it. They're like, "Do you want food?" We're like, "No," and then we just left. But yeah, it was interesting. It was definitely a good tour, I think, especially because I think most of the tour was for the musical history of Cali. The people we were on tour with or doing this little tour with were these people from Bogota, and yeah, they were they're again just like you said, they're very fun people. One of them was actually was born in Colombia but had lived a long time in the United States. And like he spoke perfect English. The other guy spoke like English pretty well too. So even like Shireen felt like she had like, you know, company, people that like understood her and stuff. So
yeah,
it was awesome being like kind of welcomed to the city by that. And when we finished this tour, we got dropped off at this club, Salsa Club.
Yeah, it was fantastic. You know, entering, it was like underground club almost.
Felt like it.
And
yeah.
The salsa dancers in there were on the next level. You know, we ended the night properly. Mm-hmm. We had some drinks in. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, but during this tour, I was comfortable enough with one of the people that was accompanying us on this tour. This guy named like Andres. Probably shouldn't out his name. You gotta beep that out. But I was like comfortable enough to just ask him. I was like, "Do you smoke?" He's like, "Yeah, I smoke. Like, you know, fun nights like this, like I'll smoke." And I'm like, what does one got to do to like get some weed around here? And this guy just like, he goes like, you see that guy right there? And he points at this guy that just looks like he sells drugs. Like literally just, he's standing in the middle of the plaza, and he's like, he has like two guys around him, and like he's very evidently selling drugs. And then you just go up to that guy.
Sketch about it over there, man.
Yeah, well, it's because you know what, you don't know. You got to be careful. You don't know what you're gonna be experiencing. You don't know what it's gonna be like. And again, our first time buying marijuana in Envigado was completely different. It was sketchy actually. Like we were trying to be cool about it, but it was sketchy. It was actually hard to find someone for a while.
That's what I mean. Is like the drug dealers, they act sketchy because they're the ones that have to like watch out.
Yeah, no, they absolutely do.
You know.
And we'll get to that, but I think it's just like a matter of like they have money on them. They have a good amount of money on them, and everyone knows that because they're obviously selling drugs, right? But yeah, no, it was very casual. Guys like just walk up to him, ask him for the amount you want, and then like that's it, right? And then like they don't sell you grams, they sell you like per joint. So I walked up and I'm like, how much? Like I want to buy like say like 8, and he's like, I only have 7. And I'm like, that's cool. And I give him like, you know, some money. And then he gives me like these fucking 7 fat finger joints, bro. These are literally blunts. They're like this big.
And they're wrapped up in tinfoil.
Dude. And they got no filter on them. And it's just like, oh my God. But it was like so much weed. Like for what I paid, I was like, this is a ridiculous amount of weed, bro. But it was cool. So that night we actually, I think before the club, we had also like smoked a little bit. And by the way, like Ricardo was saying, that club was insane. Like it's just a different level of salsa out there. Like from what I've seen, I haven't experienced much of the world, but from what I've seen, Cali is definitely the salsa capital of the world. Like it is their theme, it is their culture. It is like everywhere you go, even if you're just walking around downtown, there's people partying up and dancing salsa, and that is literally the vibe and atmosphere that you get there.
Yeah, and it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. It is.
It's like if you're not dancing, you're the odd one out. Over here, usually if you're the one dancing and starting up the party, it's like, whoa,
Yeah. We jump up and down here, but we don't dance.
Yeah, no, we don't do two-step nothing, bro.
Yeah.
Over there, it's majestic, the stuff you find.
It's beautiful,
and we ended off the night properly. Yeah. I think it was like a week and a half. We were just like adventuring Colombia, no drugs, nothing.
Sober.
So everything hit us very hard, and it was definitely a memorable night.
It was, it was.
And then the next day.
So we went to the next day. What's it called? We had these salsa lessons, and I think that's kind of what started off our day, because the most of the morning we just spent chilling,
editing.
We were experiencing like Rappi too, because it was our first time really experiencing Rappi, I think. So we were ordering food like crazy, dude. We were ordering so much food. I think that was actually one of the bad things that we were doing out there, because you can literally spin the block and there's 5 places to eat. Yeah, right.
And Rappi, it's not like, it's affordable-ish, but
yeah, especially as for us,
you can spend a lot of money on Rappi, considering all the restaurants close by that like you could get 20,000 peso meals.
Yeah, and that's like a normal price for a meal.
Like 20, you don't have to pay a Rappi subscription. You don't have to pay any tip or anything.
Yeah. Like, just get your meal and be done with it.
Rappi was something else.
It was very convenient, dude, and I loved it, dude. We had some really good food. We didn't have to go out to some of these bigger chain restaurants or like these like pizza factory type places. I think where was it? They had pizza factory. I think it was in Cali where they. No, I'm lying. That's
sometimes you go wrong with the Rappi, but
sometimes you go wrong. But usually it's like, I mean, a lot of the food I remember from Rappi in Cali was A1. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And then that night, we decided to go out to do this salsa lesson. And it was dirt cheap, man. Like I remember that salsa lesson was like 15,000 per.
Yeah, it was like almost $5.
Yeah,
like $5 maybe.
Like it was a cheap salsa, and it was a good, enjoyable, like a 1-hour lesson. Fundamentals, honestly, for me to really learn salsa, I'd have to do that for like probably weeks. But months.
No, man, 3 salsa lessons, you'd be good.
Give me 3 months. Give me 3 months, and I'm good.
Okay.
Ricardo thinks with three salsa lessons might be a bit better.
You'd definitely be better than how you are. Anyway,
100%.
Cali, we ended it off properly because after the salsa lessons, we walked around a lot.
Yeah, so we started walking. We went to this cafe.
First, we tried this drink that is very. It's like,
what was it? Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah.
What was that?
Mochilada or something. What is it called?
I don't know,
bro. I don't know what it's called. The point is like I drank it and I'm just like, there's no reason to remember this.
No, I actually get that because I fully forgot that drink. And I remembered people were always telling me like, oh, you gotta get that drink, man. That's the drink you gotta try. It's our drink.
Yeah, so anyway, we went to the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Most aesthetic coffee shop ever. It was cool.
It
was actually a cool hang.
Yeah.
And then we started going down the street, getting more and more aesthetic as we were like walk.
Yeah.
And it started raining.
It started raining hard, when it rains it pours, and it was raining like really hard. And the thing is, we had kind of made a decision that we want to go to this restaurant and go to this terrace. I was like showing my brother like earlier in that day, I was like showing him like, yo, this is like, come on, this is like one of the highest terraces in Cali. Like we should definitely go to this place. And when we look at
it was the highest.
It is the highest terrace in Cali. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we were looking at like Ubers and stuff to get there, I'm like, dude, it's like a 17-minute walk or something. And we're like, yeah, dude, let's just walk.
It was raining. It was pouring rain.
We were feeling mighty adventurous,
and
man.
We were walking through Cali we were speed walking through Cali, kind of jogging some parts.
Yeah.
We didn't want to stay in one part too long, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And like,
but we found shade.
We found some shade. And we sparked one up.
Oh, hell yeah.
And man, I'm telling you, POV, we got to do that next time. But we go up to this, to the bottom, like trying to get in.
Yeah.
The kitchen's in the bottom, the restaurant's in the top. And this girl, like, at first we're just like, the price is so steep, I don't know if this is worth
just
it.
Just to go in. Yeah, just to go in.
It was kind of ridiculous. It was 100,000 per us, and also we have to spend while we're there.
Yeah, you have to spend a minimum of like 150 or something. I think it was 60 per person, but then 150
altogether.
No, yeah, like in like what you spend there. So you spend overall like 210 per person.
Yeah. Which
is like, tallest terrace.
It's the tallest, the most baller one.
It's worth going. It's definitely worth going. The music was all right. The food was actually, I thought the food was actually good. It was just that, like, again, it comes from, like, he has to go through, like, fucking, I don't know, like 30 something floors of elevator to bring it up. And if there's any miscommunication in between there, it's just kind of an issue. But the food was good. People were beautiful.
Dude, it was literally the reason we went up is because this girl, she was talking us up. She was looking at Juan, actually.
Yeah, she worked there, but I don't even know what I was thinking, man. She fucking worked there.
Yeah, she worked there. She was selling, bro.
Yeah, she was selling.
She looked good too.
Showing the menu items and stuff.
Yeah, man. Like, what?
Like, we walked away. We walked away at one point. Well, that's the thing. It was a slow night because it was raining. It comes down to that because normally that place is turning up.
But it's actually kind of like okay that it was not so crowded.
Yeah.
In a way.
It was chill. It made it chill. We could just have our food and just relax. But I was ready to turn up that night.
Man.
And I think it got after.
When you look at the view.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful, but the annoying part is like it's all fenced out. So you have to like almost.
Because people could jump and kill themselves.
Well, yeah, but
no, it was annoying because there's so many fences. And they're like these big hard metal fences. And like it's kind of hard
to find like a crack to like and then if you're gonna do a panoramic you can't really
but first person, like when you're actually there, it's like you don't really care about the fence because the only reason you're caring about the fence is because it messes up the shot. But aside from that, you see the whole city, you see how far it stretches out. You notice that it's like you really get the we're in a valley feeling, which is like nice as well. And I actually would recommend it. I would probably do it again, to be honest. If I was to bring someone to Cali, I would definitely be like, yo, come on, let's go do this, because
it's the spot in Cali.
It's a good spot. And the thing is, we didn't want to turn up there though because the drinks were fucking, it was intense, So we didn't want to turn up there, but I definitely wanted to go out that night. And it was our last night in Cali, so I definitely wanted to turn up that night. I wanted to go out, shake some ass, and like. Literally 4 or 5 minute walk from there was like more clubs. Like there's like more clubs. And Cali's like, in my opinion, I think everything's like pretty, close together. So like it was like a 5 minute walk.
We like exited there and we're just like, yo, the guys next door are having a way better time.
You could hear their shit bumping, bro. They were having fun, man. But we ended up going home. We got a nice bar cup that night, and got ready for the next destination, which happened to be Pereira. Now the reason we're going to Pereira is because Pereira is like I think my original plan was to go to like Manizales or something, but Pereira was cheaper and I had a family member there, so it made sense. It wasn't really a family member, it's like the niece of the person, not the person, like my uncle-in-law, can I call him that? It's I guess
technically, but like the point is, they had a relative who was going to be our driver.
That was convenient.
And it was very convenient. It was good connection. They had a very reliable car. That's something he mentioned.
Yeah.
And, the first day in Pereira, we went straight to the coffee park.
No, absolutely. And, I mean, like, again, we're there to be in El Cafetero. So there's like a few things to do, and it was kind of touristy, but there are things I want to get off my list. For example, the coffee park. That's when I started filming my blog, and Edgardo was kind of just like pushing me. He's like, dude, you have this camera and you're like not filming anything, dude. And I was like, bro, I'm just living the moment. But he was kind of pushing me to like, get shit on tape, and I actually agreed with him in the back of my head, but I'm also stubborn, so I was like, if I'm gonna film, I'll be an asshole while I'm filming. So if you look at my vlog, I'm not very proud of it, but I was just a dickhead
if you want to see the vlog, it is a comedic bit.
Yeah,
like, one's gonna take out some parts.
It's already on the internet. Funny enough.
Oh, it's already on.
It's already on the internet. Yeah, dude.
It's on your YouTube though.
Not my YouTube. It's a different YouTube I made. But it's a YouTube that I could upload content like this without it being, because my YouTube right now is like, I have a video from like fucking 10 years ago, and it's like me with Salman, Salman Shaheen. It's just like, we're like drinking tea. Post it there? I don't know. I don't think it was a spot.
Anyway, you're shouting it out now.
Yeah,
so
there's a shout out.
It's not like you're trying to hide it.
Shout out. Yeah.
we went to the coffee. Like, this was an exhausting day because the coffee park was like exhausting altogether. It was a hot ass day, and then we go to the Eje Cafetero to check out these pine trees.
We're always in the Eje Cafetero this whole time.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, what are those called?
Palmeiras, the tallest palmeiras in the world. They're in Colombia. You gotta go see them because they're fucking beautiful. You remember this, right? You remember we did a little drive.
It's like those Dr. Seuss, like the Lorax. It's kind of like that, but like super long. Yeah, very long. It looks ridiculous. Like it's actually a marvel looking at them.
And just driving around the Eje Cafetero, it's a really beautiful, like it's a very nice biome. I don't know what the right word for it is. I'm trying to.
All these roads are so windy, man.
They're so windy because you're driving like through these like mountains, and it's like this like almost like this rainforest at the same time. And it's just gorgeous. There were a few things there. So during this the first day we did that, we went to the coffee shop, went to see Palmeiras, like Las Palmeiras, and then the second day we had all these plans, all these things that we're supposed to do, and I get fucked up sick. Like it was coming up, honestly. I think starting to smoke as well made it worse. But
yeah, because at this point we were consuming too much alcohol. One, he loved his beers.
Yeah, I drink beers breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Because the beers are dirt cheap, man. Compared to here in Canada, like you're paying $2,000 pesos for a beer. It's like, I don't know. I had to work on that aspect of my self control, but I was enjoying the beer prices for sure.
Yeah, and the thing is like we had so much to do that we needed like extra energy. So it was like a beer here, a little shot here, like something to puff on. Like it gave you energy, it gave you a little bit of excitement. You kept on going, and you paid the price for unwinding.
Crashed out. No, and it was bad too because I have this allergy that I'm unaware of. I don't know. The doctors don't even know if it's an allergy or not. I actually have no idea either. And it's like I just swell up, It could be my hand, it could be my toes, it could be my thigh, it could be my throat. And that's like the worst case I ever had. It was when it was my face and my throat. But unfortunately, while I was suffering from this sickness, right then, boom, get hit with this fucking fever, man, and I was dying. It was bad. We had plans. As you'll be able to see in our vlog, I was kind of hoping Edgardo and Shireen would still go through with the plans without me because, it's like explore the. We're here in this. We're here in the middle of fucking like the Eje Cafetero. Like when are we gonna be in this position again? Like even if I'm just staying home, go fucking do your thing. But they actually stayed back, took care of me, nurtured me back to health.
And he actually got better really quick because of that.
Yeah, relative to how long it usually takes to.
You'll see in the vlog.
I was sipping tea the whole time.
But we ended up going soup out that day, right?
Yeah,
it was that day.
Yeah, before that, when we get to El Eje Cafetero, like this is like after we get back from this whole fucking trip we were doing that day. Dude, we're at this Airbnb. It's a really nice Airbnb, but I can't forget this because I remember we were going through the tape early, and I remembered seeing like the patio, and I remembered it had this kind of flashback. But I gotta know what happened.
You're gonna see like a bent lock.
Yeah, you'll see a bent lock if you go to that Airbnb. They never call us out for it, so because we kind of beat the metal back into shape.
Yeah, with a rock. Like I found something hard, and I'm just
beat the metal back into shape. But that was what ends up happening is it's a three level Airbnb. You enter, you have to go up a floor. You're at the main floor. You go up another floor, and you're at the terrace. Like it was beautiful. I actually really liked it. I liked the setup. I liked our rooms. I liked how our space was like spread out. And I like that, like, this is actually kind of, it's not something you experience here at least, but probably in a lot of other places in the world you do, where we had like 3 windows that led to this middle corridor, and we shared that corridor with our neighbors. Like our downstairs neighbor had those same 3 windows, and we could hear her. I don't think people. I think she hung up her clothes there, like to like dry.
Once in a while, she hung up her clothes. Once in a while, she was like singing, playing her music. Yeah. And you'll see in the vlog, we actually like end up meeting her because she was a sweet lady.
She's a very sweet lady. She's like, I heard people around. Are you guys like staying here? And we're like, yeah, no, we're just like traveling. Like we're actually from here, like from Colombia, but we're just trying to get to know the country and stuff. And she just had the sweetest words to say. She talks about how her like granddaughter or daughter, or I think it's daughter, are like traveling as well, and where they stay about, and just had her story. But anyways, this in the 3rd floor of this of this like patio, there's like this big metal door, and that's a big theme in Colombia. They have these huge old big metal doors, and I noticed like right away. I can take blame for this too because I probably should have communicated this, but the door would get stuck. Right, the first time I opened it, I was like, oh, that was kind of stuck to like open it. Right, we all go upstairs. We're all chilling, like talking, doing laundry. We're just getting laundry set up. No, we're definitely doing laundry because that was our first time seeing a laundry machine since Cali, and we had to pay for it. I don't think we did a lot of it there. Oh, we did.
Yeah, we paid for it once.
Yeah.
So we were doing a laundry. We were getting inebriated.
Yeah,
and
I think
I had to go get something downstairs.
Yeah.
I went back up, shut the door. Bah!
Slammed it, dude.
And Juan's just like
right away, dude. I was like,
he's
no.
just like, bro, did you get the key? I left the key. Like, we're locked out. And I'm just like, dude, just relax for now. Let's enjoy this. Dude, so we like enjoyed a little bit of the evening, and Juan tried to go back downstairs, and he's just like, we're locked out. I knew it. And he's like panicking. He's freaking.
No, I couldn't go downstairs.
He's not even really panicking. He's just angry, and he's like letting me have it. And
we
at this point, I'm so messed up. I'm just like, bro, am I gonna have to come down the roof? And I literally told him the first thing, kick down the door.
That's the thing. That's why I was so angry because I knew it would have to come down to that. I knew it would have to come down to that. So I was like, the second that happened, I wasn't thinking, oh, we gotta jump off this fucking patio, Citadel patio, or like climb roofs. It was actually funny because like at one point just like puts his like leg over the thing. I don't think he was actually gonna climb.
I wasn't gonna do shit. I was just like, dude, I was just panicking everybody.
Dude, Shorty just like, what are you doing? Like she starts freaking out too because like everyone's just acting hectic, and I'm just angry. Like I'm not panicked, but I'm just like angry. I'm like.
Because he didn't want to break this door down.
I didn't want to break this. Yeah.
But I'm just like, bro, it's the only way, bro.
3 kicks in, bro. That door's fucking gone. But it's bent. It gets bent to shit. Yeah. That's why Gerdo's rock had to come into play, and we had to get that door fixed.
Yeah, but thank God they didn't, say anything.
No, I think you bent to back.
I actually recommend that Airbnb spot. Definitely check it out.
Yeah, it was nice. And second day, we're like, whole morning I'm still recovering. I'm still very, very sick. But I think the whole day was just spent literally doing nothing. And then it was our third day where near the evening of the day, I finally felt better. And I finally started, we actually went out.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I remember because the whole day we actually stayed in. And then the next day,
yes,
you were feeling a little better. And I'm just like, yo, let's go out for some groceries and let's.
It was nice, yeah, it was nice.
And let's get some things done.
Yeah, that was our first time going grocery shopping actually in Colombia too. Hey, because before that, Cali, we were in grocery shopping. We didn't have a kitchen. So it was our first. Yeah,
that was the first time we went grocery shopping, and that wasn't the first time. It was actually the night before, because the night before we went to that big grocery market. Yeah, that was like way bigger, way more expensive. It was like the Sobeys of Colombia. And I mean, it was a long walk, and it was uphill. So I think we learned our lesson, and we went to. That's also a vlog, Yeah. We went to the barber shop after.
Yeah, we filmed the whole thing. We went to. I think first we went to. Where did we go? Yeah, we were trying to get this issue sorted as well because Edgardo had left some money in Cali. So we had to get that sorted. So I think we went to the grocery store. I asked about that. I went to the druggery. I got some medicine because I needed some medicine. And then at the grocery store, we buy some things. I'm trying to ask I don't know why the security guard. I started asking, no, it was like an assistant that was standing at the door or like a helper person standing at the door. And I was like, how do I fucking get this money? And they were like telling me these, like, it was the weirdest way they were trying to set it up. They wanted me to like create this new bank account to like, I forget what it's called. If I remembered its name, it would make more sense. But I was so lost. Yeah, I was so lost. But yeah,
it was a process because I had made this mistake, leaving almost $200 worth of money under a mattress, just so these guys like wouldn't like to hide it. But then I ended up having to tell them anyway,
and they sent it back. That's the thing. I feel like a lot of people
really nice about it.
Yeah, they're very nice about it. They're very honorable people too, because like, dude, we were never gonna see them again. Like the worst we could do is be like, fuck these assholes. They took our money. Like I don't know if we could really like hacerle una demanda.
Not at all. They actually sent the money. It was no problem. Like actually check out that place because
I like that place. That place was lovely. I really would recommend it. But yeah, back to our trip to like our walk through Pereira. or through this neighborhood. I don't even know what part we were in.
Yeah, so I mean, most of it is shown in the vlog, so
we don't have to really talk about it much.
And we had a lit night anyway, right? We're just having a great time because we have this balcony in Pereira, and like, it's a dream, you know. Like, I would stay there literally a week as well. I love Pereira.
The climate there is
so beautiful.
So lovely.
It rains for like 5 minutes and it just stops.
Yeah, no,
you know?
Literally the loveliest climate I think that we experienced there. It was very, very mild and like warm at the same time, humid but not like drowning you in humidity. It was a very nice climate. But yeah, the next morning we were set off to go to one of the highlights, I think, for Edgardo's part of the trip. He really wanted to spend a lot of time in Medellin. I myself, like, you know, Medellin seems nice. I was not opposed to it, especially because the way we organized it was like, oh, I'll pay for the stays up until Medellin, but then Medellin's like, because it was like 2 weeks we were traveling before Medellin, so I'll pay for those, and then the 2 weeks we stay in Medellin, you'll take care of that, right? And we got a hell of a place in Medellin. Like, honestly, the way we did everything, like, I mean, I wish we would have done more stuff because we spent a lot of time there, but we did a lot of things there, and
we made the right
decisions, and that's another thing too, because
except before Medellin.
Yeah,
that was the only decision that we didn't do right.
Yeah,
you know.
But even like Envigado, like, I can tell you more about this, but I didn't know anything about Envigado. I hardly know anything about the neighborhoods of Medellin. I would have just fucking went like, oh, where's a cheap place that looks somewhat central? That's probably what would have come down to me finding a place there. But no, we had a really nice place, really nice location, really convenient to get around, and it was genuinely good.
And our tour guide, like, he just confirmed that, you know, like, it was Johnny. He was our tour guide. He was confirming, like, this is the safest neighborhood.
Yeah, this is where you want to be. This is where you want to be.
And it was great because we were actually in a very central place in Envigado. Yeah. Everything was close to us. The grocery market, everything. The bakery, the butcher, the vegetables, fruits, you know, like, everything.
Yeah, we were really living when we got to Medellin because we were eating our own food. That helped us with some of us were struggling with, like, food problems, water, things like that. Like, that helped with that a lot because we were helped us with that a lot because we were really, like, you know, eating our own food, making our own recipes, having our own kitchen, having our own space.
Yeah, of course, eating out in Medellin is not that expensive at all. We did club one time.
Oh, I wish we did it. I wish we would have done it every day, bro. That was a crazy experience.
It was crazy, and you know what? You probably could.
Yeah.
Like, but you just can't get bottle service every night. Just don't get bottle service every night. That's what we did.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of girls to provide for. And, you know, they came with short on cash.
Yeah.
They did. But it's okay.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I want to.
Yeah, I know.
It was a good time. It was just like that second bottle. That's what
I didn't even want a second bottle, bro.
We were all good. We didn't need a second bottle.
But I partied till like 3-4 a.m. So I guess I kind of benefited from it at the end of the day, you know. But yeah, getting to Medellin, before we got there, we were at this point in Colombia. We had taken the bus like a few times. You know, we took the bus from Bogota to Zipaquirá. We took the bus from Zipaquirá back to Bogota. We took the bus from, you know, Bogota back then to Neiva, and then used public transit to get to even Villavieja and back. So we had never experienced anything like what Edgardo's gonna tell you here. Like, for up until this point, I think we had fallen to a point where we got too comfortable traveling. We felt too comfortable traveling, and that became, in my opinion, our issue, because at the end of the day, you're still in Colombia. At the end of the day, they have this saying, like, which is like, you no puedes ser papaya, like, you can't give papaya, you can't give for people to like take, or for people like the saying, you give them
an opportunity to take advantage of you. That's exactly what they'll do.
Yeah,
you know, people are more desperate out here.
Yeah,
not everybody, of course. People are also good-hearted. They are, you know, a lot of people are at service, but a lot of people are also very desperate.
Yeah,
and they need to feed their family some way or another.
Yeah, and I mean, you can view it that way too. I just think at the end of the day, like, if you're taking from people, like, you're a piece of shit, you know, like,
yeah, 100%.
Hey, like, I'll be the first one to say, like, hey, if you want to rob from Walmart, like, go for it, right? But like, robbing from, like, someone, like, taking what someone has earned and worked for is just like,
is like all the way the lowest thing you can do. It's the lowest
you can go. It's the lowest you can go, because that's so, like, personal. Like, you saw that person in their eyes before you did it. Like, that is just bizarre to me. But, like, again, desperate situations create for desperate, like, circumstances, you know?
Yeah, and that's the part that I didn't enjoy about Colombia so much. But then again, it's exactly what Juan was saying, which you just get too comfortable. That's the real issue, because we ran into another situation where we got too comfortable, you know, and we'll mention that later. But essentially, we were just not looking. We were not too aware. Somebody walked into the bus. They didn't check tickets. You know, that's the first part that was kind of, like, annoying, is you got to go to the right buses, because, like, sometimes they don't check tickets.
It was bad because we were, like, in hindsight, you know, everything's different. But when we were checking out, like, the time we wanted to actually go to Medellin, for the time we were going to leave Pereira, like, because I think we were, like, probably hungover or something, and actually we missed our bus, I think, or
we probably missed our bus.
We missed our bus
because we were lit the night before, man. Like, we were having a good time in Pereira, and that's the thing, is, like, we were chilling. We were chilling too much. We were too comfortable. Yeah, you know, like, I had just bought, like, this piece of bread, a huge piece, like. Man, it was like this.
Oh yeah, and
hot crust buns or something.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Like, I mean, the bus terminal is there, like, public transportation in that sense. There's actually, like, I'm not gonna say it's not good, because it really is, like, good. Like, there's almost every hour at a convenient time to you, there's probably an option for you to use public transportation. But there's only some bus companies that take those routes, and in this specific time frame we wanted to go, there was, like, I think, one bus operating, and we had missed our bus, so we had to redeem with the same, like, company, and we got put in this next bus. Okay, they're nice enough to, you know, value our tickets still and put us on the next bus. You know, it was crazy because they didn't even check our tickets. Like, we literally could have, we had to go in this waiting zone.
Yeah, it was kind of ridiculous there, exactly like how you say.
Yeah.
Was that
Pereira to Medellin.
Was it when the bus driver, he, like, came to the line and he
started doing the bag check, like, he was checking people's bags, but he never checked our tickets.
Oh yeah,
he never checked our tickets.
Remember. Yeah,
and this was weird because when I got into the bus, I'm like, did you guys get your tickets checked? And they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, but that's a sign that that's not a good bus company, because even checking something like tickets is just part of security, you know. And at this is also ridiculous. This is also insane. It's actually explicitly written in this company's policy that they are not supposed to stop unless it's for a medical emergency, right? That's explicitly written in their policy. Which is why I'm so okay with bashing this company, you know, because 100%. They took zero accountability for what happened. Flota Occidental,
trash. Don't use them.
Garbage. Don't ever go use this company, because even though, like, it was clearly in their policy that that bus driver shouldn't have stopped, he stopped for no reason. It wasn't one of the stops. He just stopped. And I mean, another thing is, I think it's sketchy when buses, like this isn't like some taxi. Like, you shouldn't be stopping and picking people up and then keep on going and then you stop somewhere else. Like, if you have a destination, you get to that destination, and it's not a matter of time. It's just a matter of security. Like that's essentially what happened.
He was picking up people on the way.
Yeah, he's picking up people on the way.
And he was also dropping people off. This guy, he's just like, it starts with an A. It's the in El Eje Cafetero. I forgot what it was called.
Armenia.
That was the other one.
Armenia. Okay, so yeah,
he's just like, I'm actually going to Armenia, you know, and it was like 30 minutes in. This guy has my bag.
45 minutes in. Dude, I was counting because I started putting a fucking timesheet together if anything happened. Dude, we were like 45 minutes in because there was traffic in the middle of Armenia, and this guy just, you tell, because this is your story.
Yeah, honestly. So we have this all on vlog. We have this all on video, POV style.
Yeah.
You know, and he pretty much, like, we're all napping, we're all dozing off. He says, I gotta go to Armenia. I'm actually heading to Armenia, not Medellin. with a bag that's not even his. They didn't even check his ticket.
They didn't check his ticket. They didn't even. Dude, the thing is that the bus driver was so like, he's so like ignorant to everything happening around him. Like, how does this, like, this isn't, it's not like it happens frequently, but to some extent it does, because that guy was a thief. He was there to rob, you know.
100%.
He wasn't there and just a normal citizen traveling to Medellin and then saw the opportunity to rob. No, he was there to rob. So this is something that is definitely an issue in Colombia, for like, obviously, but it's also an issue at this bus stop, at this destination. He probably frequents that bus stop to do the same thing to other people.
Yeah, all the time, and they don't do anything about it, and it's not going to change unless do something.
Well, unless there's things,
like, unless they check the tickets at least.
I mean, and that's the issue, that like, there's other parts of Colombia, there's other parts where I've traveled in buses where I thought this could never happen. For example, a thing of security that a bus company called Brasilera does is they'll first of all check your tickets.
Yeah.
Fucking duh.
And then they'll walk through the bus taking video of everybody's faces.
Yeah. And like, it's for people's security. As long as, like, you know, people don't culturally respect like security, you have to have kind of those checkpoints. And in this case, it was like, again, some random guy walks into a bus without his thing getting checked. He waits for people to kind of relax, and then picks off on someone who I'm guessing he'd probably been watching Edgardo for a while.
Yeah,
right?
Because I had a nice bag, you know, it was the Villas bag, the brown one with La Cera on the back.
Yeah. And he takes that opportunity to just make the stupidest excuse. The bus driver is not attent to what's happening around them at all, and just lets him off the bus. And yeah, he got away with a lot of things that were important to me, but especially Edgardo. And
yeah, it was devastating. Mm-hmm. You know, I was really, I couldn't even process all of it. I was literally just listening to Deepak Chopra audiobook at the moment, you know, trying to calm my nerves and get through the bus ride, because there was nothing I could do. I felt powerless. I felt hopeless. It was the worst feeling in the world, and something I would never wish upon anybody.
Yeah, and we were like 3 hours late without the traffic. Like, I don't even know how we got so late. Maybe it's because of all the stops, but that was fucking crazy. I don't like feeling powerless in those scenarios. I was fucking getting a move on with anything I could do. I immediately let my family know. They immediately gave me advice. I have a cousin who was a cop, and he was essentially saying like, hey, like, there's cameras everywhere. Like, there's cameras in the bus terminal. When people step on the bus, there's gonna be cameras there. There's gonna be cameras, like, I mean, probably like, I don't know, probably there's definitely street cameras too. But he was saying like, and when you buy a ticket, you buy it with your ID. You need an ID to buy a ticket. So if they did their due diligence, their basic due diligence of making sure he had bought a ticket, even that, you guys are okay, because as long as they can identify everyone who's still on the bus, just get a policeman to like identify everyone that's on the bus, there's still a chance you can identify who it was, right? But no, the bus driver drove by cops when I told him you have to stop at the next, I have to report this, you have to stop at the next cops you see, you have to stop at them. Drives by them, I have to go to him and be like, I just saw you drive by cops. Why didn't you stop? You have to stop next time.
He was a piece of shit, this guy. Like,
yeah.
Like, honestly, this guy, like, he's lucky we didn't even get footage of his face just to freaking put him on blast too. You know, because he did his job so terribly that he was making the whole company look bad.
Yeah, he was being, and the thing is, he's being very cordial and making it seem like he was doing his best and like very apologetic, and like, but the worst part was he was saying shit like, oh, like, yeah, this happened like last week, and oh, this happened before, and I'm looking at him like, dog, are you fucking stupid? Like, this makes you look really bad. Like, you telling me that this is something that frequently happens is not like something I'm like, oh, dude, everyone gets robbed, duh. Like, no, dude. Yeah. Like,
you're letting it happen, and it's just the culture. Like, you have your rules written down.
Yeah.
So anyway, like, we know what happened with this whole thing.
I couldn't,
and we need to wrap it up.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, we know how it ends, but I couldn't like identify everyone on the bus before everything happened. They told me like, people already left the buses. Like, at this point, there's nothing we can do. By the time I talked to the cops, Dude, I was trying like the most I could do. I was actually very frustrated because Edgardo just put his head down and fucking went to sleep, man. I swear. I don't know if he was sleeping. I could see tears because I could see we were like 4 seats away, so I'd have to look against the window and there's a little space, and I swear I could see him like crying up and shit. But like, bro, me and Shane were like, we were visually devastated, and I know Edgardo was devastated, but he doesn't like immediately express it.
I process things, and I'm processing it slowly because you can't just get devastated like that. Like,
yeah,
I woke up every day and I had to live with that.
Yeah,
you
dude.
know, I had to live with the missing tripods, with the missing retainer. My teeth went back how they used to be.
Yeah.
Like, I had to miss my laptop. You know, my brand new MacBook M1 16-inch.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, with all the memories I had in it, including all of the Colombia that I filmed in those first 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, and up until that point, we thought it was everything from the last trip as well.
Yeah, we thought that, you know, it turned out that I actually have new stuff coming out.
Yeah.
Old new stuff coming out. So,
but yeah,
we're going to wrap it up with that, because I have a lot of things that are going to go out now, and you guys get to watch the POV versions if you want. So,
yeah,
we're going to make more of these explaining the behind the scenes. But we're going to start off next episode with Medellin.
Yeah, it's a good start. Look forward to seeing you guys on the next chat, and yeah, I look forward to telling you more of our story of what we lived down there, what we experienced, and yeah, just how life was.
Yeah, bro, thanks for joining me. Peace.